We're back. It's a grand reveal day. Come along, I'll show you what 190k Equity Uplift looks like. Let's walk through. We've got Agam here. Let's go on through, let's go through a walkthrough and we'll unpack room by room and showcase what we've done for the Equity Uplift. Let's go.
Let's go.
So what we did, exactly right, salvage your door, coat of paint, and it looks immaculate.
Yeah.
You guys might remember we bought this with no flooring. Went through the journey of going to a couple of timber floor showrooms to really look at different options. Ended up going with a hybrid floor. The whole reason behind that was keeping it cost effective and still being able to maintain quality of finish.
I think the biggest compliment that we get when anyone's walked in through this house is the flooring. And I think that's credit to our builder Nish, who's found the best, sort of material for us. And I think one little secret about that makes it so grand and so nice is the width of the actual flooring. It's a bit of a wider, what do you call it, panel?
Yeah, so typical panels go 190 wide panels. In this instance, we've gone for one notch up to 220 wide panel and the longer panel, so it really gives you that illusion of larger and longer corridors in space. Master bedroom, again, no carpets. We've kept it to a timeless dark charcoal grey carpet, right? With obviously the underlay in there picking a little across. Floor vents is still black to maintain that consistency across. Walking through the bathroom, which was a half finished bathroom, painted on tiles, painted on white tiles, existing tiles. We made the executive decision to pull the tiles out. Part and parcel of that, yes, it was going to be a greater cost expense, but when it came down to rebuilding a bathroom, the biggest expense was back into being able to assure waterproof compliance. One, the quality of waterproofing that went through from shower to all the way back into the bathroom. That was one of, I guess it was cost, quality, longevity of the asset that really came into play.
So now it's pretty much a future-proof bathroom for the next, however many decades. I think being the market that Frankston is becoming, which is a premium market, this sort of really appeals to old tenants or even owner-occupiers for the future sale of this.
I think we've been quite smart too in storage space, or given a combination of open cupboard and your drawers across. Smart design tip coming across here. What have you learned through basic selection?
Well, thanks to Oliver's suggestion, it's the, what do you call it? The overflow.
Yeah, the overflow cutout here.
Yeah, we've got the overflow to protect us from everything going out.
Yeah, so the whole reason to that, let's picture it, right? In a rental, even at home, you decide to open taps and decide to go out, forget to close the tap off, water spitting out, and will quickly become obvious what the overflow does. That's exactly, my friends, why you want to have an overflow, particularly in a rental. As the term stands, the overflow, the cutout, allows water to be draining back into the discharge pipe as opposed to overspitting and tipping out. Kitchen, the living, beating engine of the home. If you guys remember, this kitchen was a half-finished kitchen. Bare bones of carcasses were here. What we did, again, another executive decision of restarting the kitchen from scratch. Why? This tower was initially back here and it was really cutting that space of bench top from one part to the second part. So the decision then came across, it is going to be for a much better design and much better use to where made the call, I guess at Agam's final say of approval too, that we're going to restart the kitchen from scratch. And I think, let's face it, it gives a much better look, much better look, much better appeal, better function, larger bench space, which is really what you want out of a modern kitchen. A little bit of color selection palette came through into the discussion here, where we all agreed that we were going to keep it quite timeless of white at the bottom. Stone bench top was going to we're picking a neutral color,
pretty neutral, something that's timeless.
And really wanted to, I guess, feature a little bit the overhead cabinets with picking up a more earthy, warmer tone of the floorboards coming back into the cabinets.
This is fantastic. You've done a great job. I love that you've gone a little bit thicker with the stone bench top as well. Yeah. Nice soft closing drawers, all nice and neutral. Yeah, beautiful. Even the oven being at this level is really good because if you're appealing to an older demographic, they don't have to bend down to use the oven, so that's fantastic.
Are you seeing a bit more older occupiers now coming into the market?
Definitely, yeah. Because of the hospitals in Frankston as well, it is somewhere that they generally will downsize to, this area.
Yeah, and the 6 burner was, the 5 burner was super handy to have part of the sale. So we've unboxed what Mark left through, and that's now sitting in its glory and final state.
It looks fantastic. So this is very functional, and you've got access to the kind of casual meals area there, but then also formal dining. So it's a great floor plan, and the undermount sink is a nice touch as well.
So again, back into laundry space. Again, that was a half finished laundry. It was nothing in there. Basically floors, walls, open walls. And we've come in, bolstered a bit more of a functional laundry. If we're looking at, you've got your washing machine, dryer, and your laundry trough sitting in here. A key thing that anyone inspecting a laundry or joinery, you absolutely need to make sure that you've got the right cutouts to allow your pipework to function. So particularly in this instance, as you can see, there's a big circular cutout here, right on both ends, allowing for your water pipes, both incoming and discharge, to then go back in to the discharge point back into your pipework. Everyone runs out of storage, so you want to make sure that there's plenty of storage both in linen cupboards and overhead cupboards. So particularly in this instance too, your overhead linen cupboards, keeping that same color palette back with the kitchen, was basically just continued across, just to bring that continuity across, and plenty of storage space on either side.
Now the main bathroom.
Main bathroom, the archway, which is now gone. So Agam, do you want to talk a little bit about the archway, or the decision to pull that archway out?
Yeah, I think we mentioned it in the previous video. You probably saw in the very first video, a bit of an arch that's removed and it's looking 10 times nicer. Sliding shower door, which was a decision made to avoid, if it was a glass door, it would collide with these doors. So from a safety purpose, our builder actually had recommended that we go with this, and I think it's a perfect decision. It's plenty of space for most sizes to fit in. So,
and I think particularly back with the archway, it was really dividing the space between the bath and the second section of that bathroom here. So it was really like a fantastic decision. Yes, it was more work, but sometimes it's equally taking a step back to move forward for a much better end out. Similarly, there was a bit of contentious, heated debate, I'd say, with how we would position your bath. So we were looking at the option of a freestanding bath or a fully corner mounted bath. And ultimately we ended up with a corner mounted bath. 2 parts. A freestanding bath would give us limited space on either side, making it quite hard to clean and maintain. Whereas the corner bath allowed a much greater distance where cleaning, access, maintenance was a lot easier. Other thing too, when it comes to selecting your bath, it's equally more important with a bath to ensure that you have an overflow inbuilt within your bath. Baths are the #1 vessel, which, let's face it, you'll run your tap, you'll open your tap through, you'll go out, you'll have a snooze at the TV, potentially even sleep, couch nap, and before you know it, you'll be basically waking up with water. Again, overflow is coming back into here. In this instance here, we're still going to retrofit a mirror, but allows for an over cabinet vanity if needed across.
Our builder's also been very kind enough to provide us with these little areas, both over here in the bath and also in the shower, which is just one less thing for the tenant to worry about.
And also a little bit of a detail, I don't know if you guys can notice, but it's making sure that the base of the niche is always slanted and sloped outwards, just to allow that water to keep falling back out without it ponding back in across. It's a double tower rail mounted in conjunction of a heat vent. So if you're thinking your heater's going, it's actively drying your towels straight above. So that was some smart design decisions that came throughout your piece. So it's not just spending money, value adding, but the element of functionality always coming in to decisions of what to do, how to do, and where to place things. So that's a couple of the design tips and tricks that you want to make sure that you're bringing into product selection when doing a reno or value add, because ultimately they future-proof your rental investment property.
What I love is that the master bedroom is at the front of the house and the secondary bedrooms are at the back. So for families with kids, having that separation is really functional. Yeah.
And you see, I'm assuming you see a lot more owner occupiers wanting that type of a layout where kids go and do your noise at the back.
Yeah.
Keep the front for us. And also that space or that breakout space facilitates your kids to be here. Let's face it, if you're spending a lot of time in kitchen space, your kids are playing around here. So there's that good separation from former living at the front and semi-living space back out here.
For sure. Well, I think, you know, houses that are in the Frankston area are generally 60s to 70s homes. That's when the area was developed. And so they are starting to show their age, and having a renovation done in the area just uplifts the values generally. It shows that there's new energy coming into the market in the area, and that attracts new businesses as well, like cafes and kinders and things like that. So it really starts to transform the area. So it's really important. Yeah.
With renovations and value adds, anything that you're seeing that owner occupier especially are wanting to pay a more premium when it comes to getting that additional cream on the top for your sellers.
Yeah, well, house that needs work, I think people are very cautious about it because the cost of renovating is expensive, and if there's a bit of an unknown factor as well. So they might have a certain amount of money allocated for renovations, but if it exceeds up because something unexpected has come up, that's not great for buyers. So when a home is renovated and they have confidence in the quality of the renovation, the owner will definitely receive a premium for that.
And you guys are seeing that appetite coming through, that confidence coming back into the market.
Absolutely.
To be getting the prices that you guys are getting at the moment.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, Agam, for those who don't know, yes, you're a property investor, but as a profession, you are a mortgage broker. That's right? Yeah. So now you're wearing two hats. Yeah. An investor who's gone through a purchase. We've come in, we've done the renovation, we've done the value add in about 3 months.
Honestly, I've had very little involvement in the whole thing. Like, it's been...
Besides saying yes, what I did
pretty much.
Say yes.
You know, I think that's thanks to Oliver and Nish. And, you know, I tell a lot of people who ask me about, you know, how this whole thing went and how's my experience with Oliver. I always tell them that Oliver's been there with me more after settlement than before settlement. Because after settlement is where all the uncertainty is. You can imagine, I mean, you've seen videos of this house, there's nothing here. And obviously coupled with Oliver was Nish, our builder, who was there with us the whole time. And these two, like all three of us have been a really great working synergy where all of us have been communicating and things are just happening. It's not much of me following up or, you know, honestly, not much work from my end, obviously apart from making the payment. I
think a big part of it too is, yes, the post-purchase support or the acting on and guiding decisions is absolutely what will happen with the renovation and value add type of projects. You want to come in, there'll be problems that you've got to solve every single day. There will be forecasts into your estimated budgets or costs across project-wise, which doesn't always go to plan. And a lot of it is being able to be proactive, to problem solve, to get people of a broader team to be guiding them across and making decisions to move the project forward. And let's face it, I'd say it was a generally smooth sailing project. There's been a couple of hiccups that we've encountered, a couple of permit issues that we have to navigate through. But again, like I said, at the end of the day, it's being proactive, being very much solutions focused to move the needle forward. And that's what we've done very well as a team. And I think a lot of credit goes back to you too, Agam, of really trusting in me to be making the right decisions and planning the right decisions of both pros and cons to allow you then to say a yes or a no. I see merit in doing this. As a classic example of the 2 bathrooms, started off at the FISO purchase stage, being a lot more conservative just to complete the bathrooms. We went through the process to say, okay, hey, no, let's just strip it back, restart the bathroom from ground zero and build new bathrooms, which ultimately impacted the initial budget and forecast. But that's where in other rooms, we managed just to crawl back a bit of funds back. So that's part of the nature of renovation projects, of knowing when to pivot, when to take the action forward to then deliver a project of this caliber.
Thank you. Appreciate your help.
No problem. So if you've enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really helps us out. And if you're still not subscribed, seriously, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button and come along for the ride, because we've got plenty more stories just like this to show and tell, from search to sold. And if you're sitting there thinking, I'm ready to be the next Agam, then let's get moving. Book your confidence call with me today, and in just 16 to 20 weeks, we could be unlocking your equity together. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next search.